local, and federal officials need to do differently to prevent future loss of life?
What the governor's done is pretty remarkable so far. I mean, this is what he's done. In terms of, first of all, the biggest thing the governor's done and so many others have done, they've recognized this thing called global warming. The world is changing. It's changing.
All right, guys. So what you just saw there is something that we're seeing quite a bit nowadays, which is people on the opposite side of the political aisle from Governor Ron DeSantis actually praising him for the job that he has done as governor. And what you just saw right there is Joe Biden praising Ron DeSantis for the job he has done as governor when it comes to Hurricane Ian relief. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it is nice to see Joe Biden and Ron DeSantis put their political differences aside to come together to help the people of Florida, right? There's just some things in this world that are bigger than politics, right? Which is people's lives, especially after a hurricane, after a natural disaster. That's exactly what you want to see. Somebody needs to inform Joy Reid of this, as she's trying to grift as much as she can off of this natural disaster that has destroyed people's lives by trying to criticize Governor Ron DeSantis at every turn when it comes to his response to Hurricane Ian, even going as far as to try to invite Ron DeSantis on her show, in which Ron DeSantis basically denied her the opportunity to further grift off of Ron DeSantis, right? Trying to get a interview with him one-on-one, which she definitely does not deserve. Because, hey, at the end of the day, the people of Florida actually know how good of a job Ron DeSantis is doing, as I want you guys to check out this viral video of a Florida man breaking down in tears over Ron DeSantis' response to Hurricane Ian, and also having some special words for Joe Biden as well. Take a look.
Ron DeSantis answered my prayers, came to St. James City today, shook my hand, and he's getting us all the food and water and everything we need. He was there. He came for us. He's helping us. God bless him. He's going to be our next president. I should be on all the national news, but he came. He's going to help us. We got help coming now. It's coming. Thank you to Governor DeSantis. Thank you. You, Joe Biden, you piece of You never even came, you lousy mother.
Yeah, so as you can see there, right? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people in Florida that feel this way about Ron DeSantis. I literally did a video about a black man that also was praising Ron DeSantis in a very similar way after getting some relief to his town. Again, this is the opposite of the narrative that the mainstream liberal media is trying to push about Ron DeSantis in regards to his response to Hurricane Ian. However, there's one particular Ron DeSantis hater in mainstream media that is actually praising him for his response to Hurricane Ian, and that is no other than Sonny Hostin on The View, as we have a rare occasion of the cackling hens actually giving Ron DeSantis credit where credit is due. Kinda. Take a look.
What I did admire about DeSantis is that he finally talked about climate change, right? He sort of finally said, wow, this is a climate change issue. And I think what's always disappointed me about DeSantis is he's a very different political candidate than, let's say, a President Trump. I firmly believe that President Trump is just not the smartest guy. I think he's educated, but I just don't think he's that smart. And I think he's a racist, and I think he's a homophobe. And he's just a person who was raised that way. When you look at DeSantis, he graduated from Yale University. He went to Harvard Law School. He earned a commission in the U.S. Navy as a JAG officer. He was a federal prosecutor who did what I did, was where he targeted and convicted child predators. He still serves in the United States Reserve. So what that tells me is he's brilliant, and the cruelty is the point when he's sending immigrants all over the place and not taking care of them. And that
Yeah, but I think you got to call him as you see him, because right now...
Yeah, so there's a couple reasons I want to talk about this. And the first one has to do with the whole climate change thing. Because the Democrats and the mainstream liberal media said, oh, Ron DeSantis is finally acknowledging climate change. And I'm just like, have you guys not been paying attention to what he's been doing the whole time? I mean, the guy literally announced a $1 billion plan for a resilient Florida last year. right? This is something I've talked about before. Ron DeSantis can say whatever he wants, right, about, climate change, but I know what he actually believes in regards to helping Florida adapt to whatever environmental things are happening in that state. Whether you want to believe is man-made or not is up to you, right? But he is actually spending money to help the state adapt, which when it comes to the whole climate change debate, that is a moderate position. The moderate position is adaptation. Now, where the mainstream liberal media and the Democrats have historically criticized Ron DeSantis is that he's not taking a left-wing position on it, which is adaptation and mitigation, mainly mitigation, right? As in they're saying, look, well, you're not spending money to try to mitigate the effects of climate change, which in my opinion is so stupid. Because again, if you guys believe the science you claim is that you believe, then you would know that Florida just by themselves spending money to mitigate the effects of climate change does nothing, considering how it's allegedly a global problem. So what Ron DeSantis is doing what, in my opinion, I think is the right thing, which is understanding that, okay, it's an undisputable fact that in some parts of the state, sea levels are rising. Again, what you want to attribute that to is up to you, right? And whether you think it's man-made, that's up to you. Ron DeSantis says, hey, we're going to spend some money and we're going to try to adapt to whatever is happening, right, in this state, okay, in regards to sea level rise, things like that, okay? So this surprise, right, in saying that Ron DeSantis is finally acknowledging climate change, it's kind of ridiculous to me, considering how, again, if you actually pay attention to what he's been doing, not what he says, this shouldn't be any surprise, okay? Again, Ron DeSantis is an extremely savvy politician, okay? That's one of the reasons why I like him is because he knows how to do the right thing while also framing it the right way, okay? I mean, that's just a part of politics, right? That's something that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are absolutely terrible at. But the other thing I want to address about what Sunny Hostin is saying here is that she knows that Ron DeSantis is a great candidate to be president. She knows that. That's literally what she's admitting. And I actually want to play this clip of what Sunny Hostin was saying about who she thinks she would like to see be president, right? Versus what she said about Ron DeSantis. And I want you guys to think about, she could not name nearly as many presidential qualities for the people that she likes in the Democrat Party to be president than she could about Ron DeSantis, who she allegedly hates because he's a bigot. Take a look.
When you look at DeSantis, he graduated from Yale University. He went to Harvard Law School. He earned a commission in the U.S. Navy as a JAG officer. He was a federal prosecutor who did what I did, was where he targeted and convicted child predators. He still serves in the United States Reserve. So what that tells me is he's brilliant.
We need somebody who can get the country back in line.
Yeah.
Because if you can name me a Republican who has a shot to do that, that's what I'm more interested in, because
I think it'll be
DeSantis. I hope it's not DeSantis over in Florida, because I think he's a fascist. DeSantis. I think he handled COVID miserably. I think he's a fascist and a bigot. But
those are his good points.
Those are his good points. Exactly. Bing,
Don't
bing.
hold back, Sonny.
Bing, bing. And I hate this. I hate this talk about. I think people saying that he's too old. I mean, if the former, twice impeached, disgraced president thinks he's such a young spring chicken. I mean, he's going to be 78 when Joe Biden is 81, and so I don't like this ageism argument. But I will say,
true.
yeah,
And also Biden, when he was here, I asked him. He works out every day.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump does. Take a look.
Yeah, I mean, take a look. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do think there are plenty of Democrats that have tons of verve and energy. I mean, I like Gavin Newsom because he's really pretty to look at, and I think he does a great job in California. I like Kamala and Pete Buttigieg.
I love Pete
ticket.
Buttigieg.
I think that looks great.
You think they could win, really?
Well, I would vote for them.
Of course,
I hope
you
this
would.
country is ready for something like that. I think the brain power alone would just obliterate Trump or
I would just love
DeSantis.
to see us.
Yeah, so it went from the brain power alone of Kamala and Pete Buttigieg would obliterate DeSantis to, well, DeSantis is brilliant, right? He has all these credentials, right, that make him presidential. That's essentially what she's saying, okay? That's what she's saying. She's talking about Ron DeSantis in comparison to Trump, or Trump being president. So again, she's talking about Ron DeSantis and his potential to be president. So when she says the Democrats that she would want to see as president, when she talks about them, she talks about Gavin Newsom. What does she have to say about him? Well, he's pretty to look at. I like the way Kamala and Pete Buttigieg look. So you can't name any real qualities, presidential qualities, that you like about Democrats who you praise and you worship, right? But when it comes to Ron DeSantis, who you allegedly hate, off the top of your head, you have various qualities that you can name that make him presidential. Again, ain't it funny how that works? Ain't it interesting how that works? It's almost as if these people are paid shills. It's almost like in their head, they know that, oh, this guy's brilliant. He's very politically savvy. He is running his state in an excellent way. Okay, look at what he done with Hurricane Ian, right? He's showing great leadership. I mean, she criticizes him for COVID, but come on, none of them actually believe in the COVID stuff, right? In regards to the lockdowns and the mask and all that stuff, because they don't do it in their own personal lives, right? They're all vacationing in Florida, okay? When the cameras are not on, that's what they're doing. So they know in their heads that the guy really is the best candidate in 2024 to be president. They know that. But they can't really come out here and say it because, you know, you got to go along with the narrative. Again, just listen to what these people say. Couldn't name any real qualities that make somebody like Gavin Newsom presidential, right? Outside of the way he looks, or Kamala Harris or Pete Buttigieg. But when it came to DeSantis, she could just rattle off a ton of stuff about the guy that she was impressed with. Again, absolutely amazing. But you can't vote for him, though, because he's allegedly a bigot. Even though, in my opinion, what has Ron DeSantis done that's bigoted? I don't think he's done anything that's bigoted or racist or xenophobic. I don't think he's done any of that. Ron DeSantis sending migrants to Martha's Vineyard, yes, that was a politically savvy move. Yes, it was a stunt, but it was done to reveal the hypocrisy of the Democrats, which that's exactly what it did. Okay? It exposed the hypocrisy when it comes to illegal immigration. I mean, the Texas governor sending illegals to liberal cities like New York has called New York to declare a state of emergency. So we have a state of emergency in New York City when a liberal city has been invaded by illegals. But for whatever reason, we don't have a state of emergency for what's going on at the border, as the country as a whole is being invaded by illegal immigrants. Ron DeSantis brought that to the attention of the national media and exposed it. Again, the guy is an absolute genius, right? He's extremely political savvy, and that's what scares the hell out of these liberals, right? It scares the Democrats, it scares the mainstream liberal media because they know that, I'm gonna be honest, I like Trump, but Trump is not that politically savvy. He's not nearly as politically savvy as Ron DeSantis. They're afraid of somebody who actually really knows how to navigate government, right? And that is Ron DeSantis. He actually really knows how politics and government works, right? He knows how to do the right thing while framing it the right way, right? Without losing support. He knows how to expose the Democrats in the right way. He knows how to administer and run a state, a government. It scares the Democrats. And that's why they go after him so much, because they know how good he is, right? And this is all the proof that you need right here. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.